December when we get the opportunity to work outside on a 65-degree day with a beautiful sunshine in Batesville, Arkansas. Hi, Mr. Johnny Kent.
Good morning, David.
How are you, sir?
I'm fine. Remember, folks, I gave him one of these caps, and he doesn't ever wear it, so I'm the only stylish one on the commercial today.
That's right.
But he has sunglasses on, you see, so.
The hat makes you stylish. I love my hat. I've got one just exactly like that.
I know you do.
I should have worn it. I just don't ever remember to bring it.
So, what's going on in the world of Batesville today?
Everything is lovely in Batesville.
Well, it is.
Yes, sir.
It is.
Tell us about it. Tell us something good about what's going on in Batesville, Arkansas.
Well, we had a tremendous Christmas parade.
Yes.
Best one I think I've seen in a long time. It went on Main Street forever, which is great for the community, you know. Took up 3 or 4 pages of the Guard in color pictures.
Really?
Yeah, you
Good.
bet. Do you have a parade in Newport yet?
Have one coming up. Have one coming up.
Yes,
sir.
It won't equal ours.
Well, I will say this. You know, several years ago, we used to come up and cover the parade, and it was always a huge turnout. And
Yeah.
I mean, people really they get involved, and a lot of work that goes in that with building floats and stuff.
Yeah.
It's always been pretty big, but a huge one. That's great.
Oh, it was great. You
Fantastic.
bet. And the weather's great, and Christmas is coming.
Yes, it is.
It is. Don't be stressed out of it, folks. It'll be all right. We'll all get through it. We have for a long time. You see.
Yes, sir.
And when we're all gone, it'll still be here.
Still gonna have it, aren't
yeah,
you?
that's right. And here at Kent's Firestone, we call it Merry Christmas. See?
Yes, sir.
And things are going on with tires and service, and there's going to be a lot of trips taken, so we want people to get prepared for that. Seems like we talk about that every month, but
you have to.
Hey, listen, has that oil been checked? Has it been changed? How's your antifreeze, folks? I mean, we haven't had much cold weather yet, and might be a good idea to come by and let us check that. Some folks have. When we are doing routine service now, we are making a specific point of checking the antifreeze and letting you know on your ticket what your degrees are. We have already found several that didn't pass the test. Oh my. Well, I put water in it. Oh, well, yeah, that might be the reason it didn't pass the test.
Water is good, but it's not the best.
It's an essential for us, but it's not for your car.
That's right.
So,
That's right.
and I can remember many years ago, a gentleman lived up on top of what's Eagle Mountain now, before it was Eagle Mountain Development, called me one morning, and his little Ford was frozen block and radiator and everything, and he said, I'd been meaning to come down and let you check that. So we brought him on a wrecker and fixed it. So we don't want any of you folks to be that way, because see, we're not going to charge you anything to check it. You can pull up on the driveway. Even if you're seeing this and you're not one of our regular customers, you come and see us.
Right.
And of course, the air machine over there still remains one of the most popular sites in Batesville.
Free air.
Free air.
Yes,
That's
sir.
right. That's right. So if you come in at midnight, it works just like it does here at 10 o'clock
We
in the
don't
morning.
shut it off at 5 or 5:30,
No,
do
we
we?
don't. It's a 24/7, 365-day-a-year machine. And we provide that for you. You don't have to pull up like you do at the mini mart and put a half $1 in.
Or 75 or a buck. Or,
And then it goes cling, cling, whoop, you used up and you haven't even got 2 tires yet, you know. So you can air them all up here for free, you know.
Yes, sir.
I sometimes watch my camera at night, see what's going on, and half of the time there's somebody at the air machine,
sir.
you know, which is great.
It's a great service. It's provided by Kent's Firestone, and y'all thought it was a great idea, and it's turned out to be a fabulous idea.
That's right.
Yes,
It's the
sir.
only one I know of in the state of Arkansas.
I don't know
actually.
anywhere else
Yeah.
that you can get free air.
That's right. That's
Unless
exactly
you
right.
breathe it out here.
Yeah, but you
kinda
can't
hard to
get
put
that
this
in your
air. It's
tire.
kind of hard to put it in the tire.
You can blow all you want to. You're not going to get it to go in
No,
there.
sir. Can't put it in a balloon.
Tires, how are they? Are they ready for that Christmas trip? There will be people taking vacations at Christmas time. They get some extra time off and maybe even go down to the coast where it's warmer than it is here. However, that's not the case right now. But we want to make sure that you're safe and ready to go. I had a lady in just day before yesterday who was going to make a trip down the Gulf Coast and wanted her oil changed, and I said, you need to come out here and let's look at these tires. I meant to say something to you about that, but it slipped my mind. Now, if we hadn't been looking, she'd have taken off on those bad tires. She had one coming apart. And then I had another lady, they'd been on there 10 years the other day. Brand new customer. And I said, I know you're brand new to me, and I don't want you to think we're trying to really put something over on you, but come here and look at all this. And they were just cracked up something off.
Yeah.
And she said, well, I didn't know tires did that. And I said, well, you would have when one of them went boom, you know. So, but we do all that for you for free, all that checking, you know, brake checking, antifreeze checking. We'll check your oil if you want us to. If you have a car that's consuming a little oil and you don't want to get your hands dirty, ma'am, come by and we'll check it out. And if you need to add some, we can put it in for you.
Sure.
We don't want you to be inconvenienced by that. If you got your money set aside for Christmas, David, what are we going to do for you at Kent's Firestone?
Well, you're going to give us some opportunity to keep that money in our pockets. And the biggest reason we want you to do that is because we have some credit plans that are available that let you do your Christmas with your cash money and have, you can drive away with time to pay. Here has kind of been the motto.
You like that. Drive away with time
to pay.
The Bridgestone Firestone account gives you 6 months, no interest, or 22 months to pay it out if it's too much for that. If that doesn't work for you, we've got the 90-day program where you have a 25% down payment and then 3 more checks to take care of the rest of it. I've got it set up now, folks. If you don't have checks, I can use your debit card.
Oh, wow, good.
See, I've got that fixed.
There you go.
We couldn't do that before, but we've got that fixed so that we just imprint your debit card and put it down on the days you want it to be taken out of your account. You sign the things, and that's the day it'll come out of your account. So if you say, I've never had checks, but I've got a debit card, you're okay now.
You qualify.
We fixed
it.
you.
Yes, sir. You qualify.
We're always working to make it easier to get what you need at Kent's.
Speaking of checks, and you have a check, I write checks out of my company account. I picked up a checkbook at my house last night that maybe my grandson had gotten out from somewhere, and I got to thinking, when was the last time that I had written a regular check? And I'm old school. We're old school.
Yeah.
We're check writers.
That's
I'm
right.
always check writer.
Right.
But you got to where people wouldn't take checks anymore. You know, we don't take checks, and there's some places that don't take cash.
That's right.
We don't want your cash.
Well, we take cash, credit cards, and checks at Kent. He saw this in my pocket before. That's his payment. He just wanted to make sure he got
it. Oh, a raise. Thank you, sir. I appreciate
what?
it.
Hang on. Now,
no, it's the same.
I know you have your lovely wife filming today, but
that is right.
And I make she'll get it in the bank for you too.
I guarantee she will. CFO for the company, no doubt.
Yeah.
CEO,
absolutely.
CFO.
CFO. Yeah.
Executive director. Boss lady.
Boss. Yes.
Anything else you want to?
You always have the last word at your house, and it's yes, ma'am.
That is right. That is right. That is right.
Yeah.
Well, John Kent, I know it's been a great year for you guys, and Christmas time, Santa Claus is coming. I hope you guys have a very Merry Christmas to you and your family.
And you too, and for all of our good watch viewers, we wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year, because this dude won't be back until it's January.
That's right.
And we're all hoping at Kent's that it's not this pretty come later on.
That's right.
Because we sort of need the cold, bad
business
weather.
Business is better when it's colder. Business is better,
right.
sure.
And if you're thinking about, if it gets a little wet on the street, now we haven't seen any wet in a while.
What happened, have we?
And if it gets a little wet on the street, then they kind of notice those tires need to be. But we want to say we appreciate all the good business you've given us this year, anticipating having a tremendous year in 2018, and it's all because of you. Nothing to do with us. It's all because of you. And David's good advertising.
Thank you, Mr. John Kent. Merry Christmas to you and your family.
And you too.
One of my favorite people of all time, Mr. Ted Hall, White River Area Agency on Aging, and it's always my pleasure to get to come up and visit with this young man right here who does a marvelous job for a White River Area Agency, and you do a marvelous job for lots of other things too. I mean, a man about community, and you spend a lot of time, a lot of volunteer time thank you, my friend, for giving back, because I know you spend a lot of time doing that. But
that's just part of the deal. So
part of the deal.
No big deal.
Let's talk a little bit about what's going on. We have several things that we need to talk about today.
Sure. Well, first of all, David, we want to make sure that we wish everybody a Merry Christmas.
Yes, sir.
We just finished Thanksgiving, and we really have a lot to be thankful for. And sometimes we may not think about that every day, but we really do. So anyway, we just want to mention that. But 3 or 4 items on our program today that we want to make sure that everyone kind of understands that Part D, open enrollment, for those that are involved with that, they need to know that December the 7th is the deadline. So if they want to make any changes in their drug program and those kind of things, then they need to make sure that they get it. That's before December the 7th. And then we want to talk a little bit about, we're really proud in Jackson County. Of course, this project has been going on for 2 years, David, but we got permission from the Newport School Board, and they allowed us to take over the old Castleberry Elementary building, and that's going to be the new senior center in Jackson County. And so we're not quite there. We've been remodeling that building, painting, kicking out walls, adding kitchens, doing all kinds of things. But it's going to be, I think, a really neat place for seniors.
I did too. Yeah, you and I toured there earlier, 6 months ago, when they were doing some of the tear out. But boy, I mean, the idea and the plan was just absolutely super.
And at some point in time, Dave, we're going to let them have some time to operate that. And of course, that's through Unity.
Right.
And so we're going to let them kind of get their feet on the ground. And then we're going to have a big celebration, and we'll invite all the boards that have been involved with this and all of our elected officials. So we'll make that a big deal, and that'll be sometime in January. But just let everybody know in Jackson County that the Senior Center, as they have seen it, it's going to be a really neat place to go and be lots of things going on there for the folks there in Jackson County.
At a chamber meeting this past week, Mr. Ted, and Michelle Fauci, who is at Unity Health and the marketing director, made a report on the progress there, and said that really we're close. We're not quite where we need to be, but we're real close to getting this thing ready to go. And it is a must need for Jackson County. A must need. Right.
And lots of good things going on in Jackson County right now. If you go up and down the highway, you see all these new business and those kind of things. So we're proud to be a part of Jackson County. So with that said, one of the things that we want to emphasize today is that as we have Thanksgiving has taken place, but this is the time of year when the kids come home and see their parents, and all of a sudden they get all shook up because mom and dad's things are a little bit different, and so that's when they need to call us, especially if they see some things going on in their home that they think their parents need some help on. And that could be anywhere from cooking to helping run errands to bathing and all those kind of things like that. That's what we do. And so we call that, David, in-home services.
Right.
And a lot of people do not know about White River Area Agency on Aging until they need us, and then we become their best friends, you might say. And so we want to remind everyone that they can call in Independence County to be 870-793-5358, and then in Jackson County it's 870-523-4982. Now the reason why we give those numbers out, once someone calls us, then we will visit with them. Then at that point in time, we'll probably have a care manager come out and visit with the family and see what they need to do. We're not high pressure, all that. We just want to make sure that if someone needs services, then we're going to be able to provide that for them. And there is a process of getting all that done. So it's important that we have case managers come out, because they actually can point out things to everyone, whether it be the actual client or their kids or whoever's involved. But simple thing, is there enough food in the house?
Right.
And we have Meals on Wheels, and so we can help with that kind of thing. Right. So there's lots of things that we do. We even look at around the house. Falls are the number one problem for when you get older. When you get hurt,
its result. I mean, that's the number one
Absolutely.
thing is falls. So they might have a rug that needs to be moved, or they may have an extension cord going across the room, or they may have something there. But our folks are trained.
You're trained in that.
Trained to do that. And then the other thing that's important, everyone needs to know, not all people that do the services that we do go through the kind of training that we do. They got 40 hours, and we don't put it on a video. We've got a nurse that goes through, and we show people how to move people from their bed to the chair, and also anywhere from how to shave someone.
Right,
I mean, so we really spend a lot of time in training folks and making sure that they're going to get a really good deal once they have somebody in their home. And of course, we have to do background checks and all those kind of things. And we work with veterans. We work with people that have long-term insurance.
Right.
We have people that just go ahead and pay us because they want to make sure that they've got someone they can trust and have been background checked and all those things. So we deal with a lot of people, and we just have to be able to visit with them and kind of find out where they are, so we'll know how to help them. You just can't do it simply over a telephone call. You got to spend some time.
Got to go there.
And go there. So those really are the things that I want to talk about today, David, is that Part D enrollment is closing December the 7th. Jackson County is getting ready to have their senior center, and then in-home services. Give us a call, and then also that we're thankful about this time of year. So we are thankful.
We are thankful, no
Yes,
doubt, no doubt. Mr. Ted Hall, it's always a pleasure to get to visit with you, and we want people to understand, especially the part about, you talk about kids coming home, and we're not talking about college kids as such. I mean, we're talking, it could be college kids. We're talking about, might be 40-year-old kids,
Oh, yeah.
50-year-old,
Something like older than that. That's
50-year-old
right.
kids.
That's right.
When your parents are there, and you would notice a big change, and Mom and Dad might not notice a change with each
Exactly,
other.
right.
They might not even notice that change,
Right.
and it's. I mean, they see it every day, and they don't notice the change. It's kind of like just getting older. You don't realize you get older day to day, and then you take a picture now and look at it 10 years later, and
Yeah.
you say, "Golly gee, I changed a little."
Absolutely. And then a lot of times, David, we'll have initial contact with the family, and nothing. Mom, Dad say, "Oh, we're good.
Right,
Yeah, we're
right.
all good." But then 6 months later, something happens.
Something
A
happens.
fall happens, or there's a car accident, or there's something that's just not quite right. So that's when we go. So we have a relationship. We do that very well. And so also the big thing that we are a place for information.
Sure.
And we can provide that. And if we can't help them, that we can pass them on to other people that can help them.
There you go, Mr. Ted Hall. Good to see you, my friend. And Merry
You bet.
Christmas to you.
Merry Christmas. Okay.
Mr. Ted Hall, White River Area Agency on Aging, Batesville, Newport, and lots of places through north central Arkansas. We're St. Michael's Place in Newport, Pecan Street, and we welcome these two fine young ladies to the program. And first of all, we'll let them introduce themselves.
My name's Keisha Plomer. I'm the Director of Nursing here at St. Michael's.
And
Starla Buford. I'm the Assistant Director of Nursing here at St. Michael's.
so with the introductions being that way, I would assume that we're going to talk about nursing, or how we direct and assistant direct in the nursing department. Tell us a little bit about you, and you've already told me a little bit about McCrory and so, but tell us a little bit about you growing up and why you decided to get into the field of what I call the medical field.
My grandmother actually inspired me. She actually had dementia, and I just love nursing and love taking care of people.
Well, no doubt that you do that, but tell me a little bit about growing up and graduation and all that, and how it was down in Woodruff County.
There ain't much in Woodruff County. Just a lot of farm fields in Woodruff. That's all there is.
It It is that. And tell us about you, where you grew up, and tell us about why you got into this field.
I grew up here in Newport most of my life. Everybody in my family was in the medical field. My dad was a physician here in Newport. My grandmother actually owned a few nursing homes, so just kind of next step was going to nursing.
So you talk about director of nursing. Kind of tell me, Keisha, tell me a little bit about that and what your job responsibilities are here.
It's just we start from the admitting process, following physician's orders. We try to get people back up to their quality of life as much as we can. No one likes being at the nursing home, but we are here to help them and to continue with their quality of life as much as possible.
Tell me about, education or training and what it takes to be a director of nursing.
It takes a lot of experience, a lot of years, but you just don't go into it just to be going into it for the money, because it's not just for the money.
And I would ask the same thing, kind of obviously the assistant does a lot of the things, but job responsibilities on a day-to-day basis?
Making sure residents are taken care of course. Staffing responsibilities, making sure physicians' orders are being processed correctly and implemented correctly. Just the basic care of the resident and making sure that they're happy and all their needs are met.
Well, you get into this business, like you say, not for the money of it, but for the love of taking care of folks. But kind of just quickly, give me a day to day, and I know each day is different. But how does your day go? How do you go from when you get here until you go home? What are some of the things that you do?
Well, usually when I come through the front door, they're already hollering. I don't even get to make it to the time clock usually. But no, I usually do my morning rounds. I check my physician order and see if there is anything's changed from the day before. If anything's went on throughout the night that I need to be aware of, that's usually a big bulk of the start of the day. And at the end of the day, we're just wrapping up and trying to make sure everything's going well for the patient, or if someone needs anything.
Starla, where do you fit in that in the course of the day and in your daily routines? How does your day go?
Mine usually handles a little bit more with staffing. I usually make sure from the start of the day to the end of the day that staffing is complete. We're social workers, we're cooks, we're just a little bit of everything to everybody. So job changes daily sometimes.
I know that we've assembled a great team here at St. Michael's Place, and we've got good people, and we continue to grow, and we certainly know, and we certainly invite people to come out and let us look at the facility. If somebody were going to come out and get a tour from the director of nursing, what would the director of nursing, where do you tour and what do you do? You know what I mean? What do you turn on your end?
Well, I would just bring them in. We'd go hall by hall, usually sometimes room by room, show them their dining room, show them what our therapy's like. We do have a secured unit for our dementia patients, so and that tour can be done at any time.
Yeah, no doubt. And here's my question, Star. I'll let you answer this one. I guess it's a great opportunity, or you have to work with Jay Cox. Now, I don't know which that may be, and you can kind of tell me about how that goes.
Most of the time, it's not too bad. I think he's a great help to all of us. He is. He's always there when anything's needed. A lot of times, he picks up our slack as well. If we're quite bogged down and he sees that, he'll come and he'll say, "What can I do? What do you need help with?" So he's great. He's very great.
Well, no doubt he is, and we kid Jay a lot about not just what he does, but and how he does it. But a good friend of mine, Jay, we appreciate that. Jay's off camera here, but he brought us the director of nursing and the assistant director of nursing. I guess one last quick question is nursing. You talk about the staff, and I didn't tell you that I was going to ask you this question. But what about numbers of nurses on staff? How many nurses do we generally have on staff?
Right now we're running around 70, 75 residents, and we have 3 LPNs on day shift, 3 on evening shift, and 2 on nights. We're staffing anywhere from minimum, we're over minimum state with CNA wise, because like I said, 2 nurses is all we are actually allowed to have, but we actually are staffing for 3.
And you were going to say?
That's just our direct care staff. I mean, we have a treatment nurse. We have, an RN, which is me, an RN, which is Keisha, is the director of nursing. And then we also have an LPN that does our MDSs, and then we have another LPN that does our medical records. But just as far as the direct care LPN, there's 3 on days and then 2 and 2. So.
Well, again, we mentioned a great team here at St. Michael's Place. We just want to remind everybody, if you have any questions, you're certainly welcome to come by and contact us, and you can ask who to talk to. And if you need a tour of the building, just call and tell them you'd like to have a tour and come out and certainly sit down and visit. And if you see my good friend Jay Cox out on the street, please tell him that we said hello and keep on doing a great job, because no doubt I think he has been a tremendous addition to St. Michael's Place. And you ladies, he speaks highly of, so I know you girls are doing a great job. Thank y'all so much for joining us. St. Michael's Place, Pecan Street in Newport. We're at Unity Health Harris Medical Center in Newport, Arkansas, and we welcome Catherine Calhoun to the program. And welcome. Good to see you.
How are you?
I'm absolutely wonderful. We've got to find out a little information about you and find out what you do. Tell us a little bit about Catherine Calhoun, where you grew up, education. Tell us a little bit about you.
Okay, I'm originally from Louisiana.
Okay.
Grew up in a little bitty football town right on the Arkansas-Louisiana line, Haynesville, Louisiana. So
Know
if you
what
know
it is.
football, you know where we're at. I went to Ruston to Louisiana Tech, got my degree.
I Tech Bulldogs.
And then I got imported into Arkansas from a company and been here ever since, 15 years.
Wow. Well, I'm glad you're here in Arkansas, and we've had a visit before we got on the air, and I found out a lot about Catherine. But at Unity Health Harris Medical Center, this is not just your job here. You kind of travel around. Tell us about what your job title is and what you do and where you go and how you do it. Tell us, because it's very, very interesting what you do.
All right. I'm a consulting dietitian for nursing homes. I do that part-time, and then I work here as the clinical dietitian here at Unity Health Harris Hospital. And that pertains to making rounds on patients, talking to them about their diets, any symptoms they're having that may be related to nutrition. And now we're branching out into outpatient services. So what we have seen when I see my patients, everybody's sick. They really don't want to talk to anybody. They're just kind of tired and fatigued, and they don't really want to listen. And you do find that one patient that wants more help.
Right, absolutely.
So we've decided to branch out and provide services where we can help them. When you get home and you're feeling better, have your doctors send the order up here, and you can come see me for anything from weight loss to diabetes to renal.
So what you do, do you establish a program for folks? How does that work? If you're coming in to see me, what would you come in to see me for, and how would you do that? And I know...
Right. I individualize per person.
Okay.
Everybody's different.
Okay.
What may work for one person may not work for the next.
Right, good.
So I try to, those patients that want to be there, I ask them, what would you like to get out of this program?
Sure.
How can I help you? Because a lot of times they just need support. Family members may say they're going to support them, but they don't really know how to do it on a daily basis. So what I do is anything I ask them to do, I've pretty much done myself before.
Sure.
So if it's to test out a recipe, test out a diet plan, even like a commercial supplement like you see on TV, the Ensure or something.
Absolutely.
I'm not going to tell you to drink it if I haven't drank it myself. I did have a professor in college that had us, go on Slim Fast for a week, and that's all we could take.
Really?
And there were some very hungry dietitians by the end of the week, and we were very ugly.
Oh.
So after that, you're just like, if I don't make you do it, then I can't do it. No.
And that just reminds me of going back to training, and how do you train for that in college?
A lot of it's a hands-on experience.
Okay.
They'll tell you, okay, you got your books, you got the way it's supposed to be.
Right.
But then they throw in some classes that teach you to adapt to your environment.
The real world out there.
Yeah. Because every personality, every person's just totally different.
Absolutely.
I can sit there and I get so tickled because I have people ask me once they find out what I am. They'll be like, will you write me a diet? And I'm like, it's like, I'll write it for you, but are you going to follow
Are
it?
you going to? Everybody, especially, it's coming up, first of the year's coming up, and everybody's going to, New Year's resolution, we're going to lose some weight, we're going on this diet.
Yeah.
And most of the time, it lasts about a day and a half.
And that's where they mess up. They do the New Year's resolution.
Sure, you need to do it just all the time.
I did have a patient a couple years ago when I was doing outpatient services over in Crittenden County. And I asked her, I said, what's your goal? I was like, don't make it food. Don't make it, what is your goal? And she's like, well, for every pound I lose, I'm going to save money for a cruise. It's like, okay. She got to go on her cruise when we got finished.
Right?
Yeah.
Is that right?
I mean, so you gear it towards that person.
Sure.
You know.
And losing weight is so hard. I mean, you've just got to be dedicated, but a great diet plan is the key.
That's your
exercise
basis.
itself.
That's your basis.
All right, let me ask you this before we go. Why this particular, why this path? What made you go down this path?
Community nutrition's always been kind of my thing.
Okay.
When I started out, I decided when I got finished with my 4-year degree, I wanted to kind of see if this is what I want to do the rest of my life. So I took a job with a child nutrition program in Claiborne Parish, and I got to work with 325 little 3 to 5-year-old patients.
Wow.
Children, in a 2-parish area.
Right.
And it was just, when I had kids keeping their snacks from the day at their preschool, if they could take home, it was just kind of heartbreaking because they're like, well, can I take this to my brother? Sure, yeah, you can take it to your brother. So I've always tried to get involved in the community in some way or some fashion. So.
Well, there's no doubt that each of us take paths down, life's highway determined by something happened when they were younger, and no doubt that you did it. I know you're doing a marvelous job. We welcome you to Unity Health. And you said 9 months now that you've
I've been here
traveling
9
through.
months, yeah.
We certainly welcome you here, and thank you for taking time to join us here on the
enjoyed
Business
it.
Spotlight. Catherine Calhoun, and she does a marvelous job in her travels around, I guess, how far do you travel?
I go to Cross County, to Jackson County, and then Crittenden County.
Wow, you're busy then.
Yeah, I just do the hospital 2 to 3 days a week here.
Right.
So,
You're a busy
but
lady.
I enjoy it though.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you.
Let's continue on with more of our show. We're at Willis Funeral Home and visiting with Tim Sturts. Tim, welcome to the program, my friend.
All right, good to be here.
Hey, first of all, for those folks who may or may not know you, those folks that don't, tell us a little bit about Tim Sturts. Tell us a little bit about where you grew up. Tell us a little bit about family. Let us learn a little bit about Tim Sturts this morning.
Okay. Well, Tim Sturts, that's me. I am the assistant manager here at Willis Funeral Home. I've been here for the last 2 years. Grew up in Southside, big city of Southside now. Mom and Dad still living there, and I live with them. My brother is a lot more well-known than I am. He's our state representative here for Independence County, and he's fixing to run for Senate, and so hopefully everybody will vote for him. But I went to Southside High School, graduated there in 2010.
2010 graduate, Southerner.
Yeah, that's right.
Southerner. Tim, let me ask you this. You say you've been here 2 years. Looking back, reflecting back, why the funeral home business? Why did you want to get in the funeral home business?
Well, I went to college to be a teacher.
Right.
And taught at Batesville High School for a month and didn't like it. So
Is that right?
I resigned as a teacher and needed a job, and I already had a career at Locust Grove as a pastor of a little Baptist church out there. And I thought, well, being in the funeral business would go good with that.
It would.
And Sandy Willis at the time, she needed some help, and so I applied for the job and got it.
Wow! From teaching to this, and you got to have a heart to work in this business. You got to have a big heart, no doubt about it. And because this is a service business, no doubt. You folks are servicing people. Talk a little bit about that.
All right. Well, we try to be the best in Batesville at sharing compassion, being a Christian-oriented funeral home. That's very important. Here at Willis Funeral Service, that all of our staff is Christian. And we try to work with families to the best of our ability to keep the price down, to be the least expensive as we can be to help families at a time of need.
We're in the display room, and we just wanted to show just a little bit of some of the displays that we have and some commemorative things on the wall. But let's talk a little bit about choices in the display room. We have lots of choices.
Okay. We just renovated our display room into September of this year and have a lot of different options to choose from. First of all, the higher end options, we have some bronze caskets for those that want to put mom and dad in the very best quality of casket that we sell. We have those available, but most traditional caskets are going to be in the new commemorative collection. And this is something brand new by Batesville Caskets, started October the 1st. You can personalize a casket. And so we have these magnetic emblems that you can choose from and put in the head panel of the casket. Or there's some caskets that we carry that have the corners that you can put some emblems on the corner to make the casket more personal.
Sure.
To what mom and dad liked or what your loved one prefers.
Absolutely. Well, we're showing just a few of what we have right here, and what we want to do is want to make sure that we let people know about our selection. At one time, we offered like 10 in the display room, but now we've got a section of this particular display room that we want to show you next. Tim, we're in the same room. We're just down a few feet from where we were a while ago, but tell us about, this is the new part. This is where we have a lot more inventory, and we're able to do that with this display, and show us how the display board works.
All right. This is our classic collection, like I say. Those that want the very fine quality of caskets for mom and dad or their loved one. Prices start right here at the upper end is $5,695, and we go all the way down around the room to $1,595. So whatever people can afford, that the most popular is going to be somewhere in between, and those are the caskets we talked about that you can personalize, put some tribute options in there to make it however you want it to look.
You have a conventional collection that has a lot of personalization and so on and so forth, but we have a funeral home that is working very, very hard. We're trying to earn people's business, and we're doing that. And Jimmy Cooper, we've interviewed here a couple of times, and Mark Robinson, the new owner. You're doing things right here at Willis Funeral Home, and we would hope that folks would give us an opportunity and let us show you what we can do as far as our service goes, because our services are very, very good.
That's right. Just come check us out. We'll try to be the best that we can do. We treat people in so many ways. You got like one of them.
Yeah, absolutely. I like that. I like that. Tim Sturch, my friend, wonderful job for showing us the display room here. Please give us an opportunity the next time you might need our services here at Willis Funeral Home. It is December, and we are at Lindley Health and Rehab Center in Newport, Arkansas, and we have Sherry Hanley and Margaret Gates with us. Sherry, big month coming up. Tell us some things that's going on. Tell us a little bit about whatever you want to talk about today.
Okay. Hello, everyone. I'd like to talk a little bit today about the month of December.
Okay.
The month of December is always usually a very, very busy month at Lindley. We have lots of things going on. I guess to start with, we're getting ready for the town Christmas parade.
Yes. Oh, it's always huge. It's always huge in Newport.
It's a huge deal.
Yes.
We love to participate in it. Usually by the time it's over with, we start planning for the next year,
Right.
getting ideas in our head. So we're excited about that. We've been working on that. Margaret's been making out her December calendar.
Oh,
and
yes.
we've got lots of things coming up. Margaret Gates is our activity director.
Yeah.
So what's going on, Margaret?
Tell us,
Well,
Margaret, what's happening out here?
We have a tremendous amount of volunteers from our community that come in, and they provide a lot of activities all during the year, not just in December. But in December, they pop it up there, and we have Christmas music, and we have local people. We have employees that come in and sing. We've got a new one, Kathy Robinson's going to sing for us,
wow.
you know, and Gary Campbell, Emmett Campbell, and all of those folks. And also, we're going to have an awesome Christmas party for our residents.
We are.
And we're going to have ugly sweater contest. I'm
Yeah.
wearing my ugly
About
sweater, and I got my Christmas hat on.
You're
I am
ready,
so
aren't you, Margaret?
ready.
You are ready.
And we're going to, and of course the New Year's coming up too.
Sure.
And we're going to have like 2 events for that, one on a Friday, and then on a Sunday afternoon, we're going to have cookies and ice cream and talk about the new year and what it means to each one of the residents that attend. And we just have a popping good time all year long. But December is really good. We're putting up trees today and getting decorated up and making a good Christmassy atmosphere for our residents.
Now,
This is their home.
You had mentioned, excuse me if I interrupted, but you had mentioned something before we got on the air that really hit dear to my heart, Ben's heart. You mentioned something about cookies.
Well,
And we're at Cookie Day. This is Cookie
Day
Day.
is today. Wednesdays, every Wednesday, we bake fresh cookies for the residents and the employees. And we do that every Wednesday. And once in a while, we think, today's a good cookie day, and we're just going to have cookies today. We had cookies, I think, last Friday, and just because we thought it was a good day to have them.
Every day is a good day for cookies.
Yeah.
No doubt, no doubt.
And especially this time of year, we have an angel tree for our
Okay.
community people to come in and choose a resident or two or whatever your budget allows you, and make Christmas for them just a little nicer. And also, if you'd like to come in and tour our building, Sherry or I'd be happy to let you tour our building and see what we do, not just in the month of December.
Right.
So we would like to have you to come through and see how awesome our residents, how well they're cared for, meet them. They love to meet new people. And so we'll just open anytime for somebody to come through and let us show them what our facility's like.
You know, down through the years, we've done these interviews, and we've interviewed several of the residents, and I'm here a lot. I'm here for the
Yes.
parties, and you know, you guys do such a marvelous job. You use the word awesome. Y'all do an awesome job
Thank
of
you.
doing things for your residents, and I mean, it takes a big heart to be able to work in a nursing home. Number one, but then when you're working for good folks, and you guys are working for good folks, and y'all make it happy for the residents.
Well, David, they make it easy.
Yeah.
Our residents
Oh.
make it easy.
Sweet to
They-
us every day.
They're
every day.
very near and dear to our hearts, every single one of them. It's just, it's so easy to be with them every single day. Every day. It's a blessing.
It is.
Well, I mean, it's a blessing to be alive. It's a blessing to be able to come to work. It's a blessing to be, you know, wherever we are in life. And
That's
then
right.
certainly when you're enjoying doing things like y'all are, and then the residents, I know when we come and do our videos, you know, a couple, 3 times a year, all the smiles on people's faces, and not only the residents, but the people who work
Right.
here too.
That's right.
You guys do a marvelous
so
job. Marvelous
true.
job. Lots of stuff going on in December.
We do. Talk a little bit about the resident Christmas party where, you know, we want their families to come.
Yes.
When is
and
it?
That will be on December the 21st at 6 o'clock in the afternoon, in
Okay.
the evening.
Okay.
And they're welcome to come. If they'd like to let us know they're coming so we can have a little better count, that would be great. If not, and it's a last minute thing and you're able to come on. We're happy to have you.
It'll be in the dining room.
Yes, and-
We'll have a meal prepared for the residents and
Okay.
their family. It's just a special time for them, and they can spend time with their loved one.
Right.
We would love to have the families to come. They're our family as well.
6 o'clock.
6 o'clock.
December
on
21st.
Okay. Right here at the dining hall. That will be fun.
It
That'll
will
be
be
fun.
That
fun.
will be fun.
Probably
be
have a
fun.
special guest, Santa May up here.
Santa Claus is coming to town.
Santa Claus is coming to town.
Plus, on December 8th, we're going to have pictures with Santa. The residents just love to
Oh,
sit
yeah.
down with Santa and
Yeah.
have their picture made and tell them all their wishes and things. And that is so, it's awesome.
Fun.
It's
That's
awesome.
a fun time.
I bet it is. And again, you know, I appreciate what you girls do because I know y'all work very, very hard. You love your jobs. You love being around people in general and these people specifically. So,
They're our
anything
family.
else that we need to talk about before we get away from here?
I'd like to say a very big thank you to our volunteers. We have so many wonderful volunteers. They come up here and you know, dedicate their time. You know, when they could be at home doing something else or whatever they might want to do. But they take time out of their busy day to come spend with us, our residents, and to help and to make their days a little brighter. And we appreciate that so very, very much. So very much.
If you see Margaret Gates or if you see Sherry Hanley somewhere in town, be sure to thank them for the hard work that they do for our community here and what they do at Lindley Health and Rehab Center. And ladies, we appreciate y'all always taking time to visit with us here on Cable 15 TV.
Thank you, David.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.